So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so here we are.
So, yeah. Do you know much about my work?
No,
You don't?
no, isn't that terrible?
Well, Oluwayinka is a very interesting guy, and sometimes he does stuff like this. And
He does, yeah. He was just like, right, who wants to make connection? And I was like, okay, cool. And then it was like from there. And I was like, okay. And then I looked at what you did and I was like, okay, well, I'll have a reading if that's okay. And he was like, he wanted everyone to have an experience of first contact. And I was
oh,
like,
that's yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So these are non-physical Arcturians that I channel,
Mm-hmm.
a collective in the ninth dimension, and I've been channeling them since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been a professional channeler since 2010. So they're just the newest ones really that I've been working with, and put out messages from them on a regular basis, uh, almost every day.
Okay.
And when I bring them through, there's a lot of toning and there's a lot of movement, and that's all channeled too. And so you just basically sit back for the first 3 minutes and wait for them to, well, they'll announce themselves and they'll say hello to you. And then it's all conversation between you and them at that point.
Okay. And I guess that you look after your physical body properly because all that channeling will be caning your kidneys.
I just, right before you, was teaching a course on being raw and vegan and eating all organic. And yeah, and I do regular hikes and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to ask that because that's my area. So I'm just like, are you looking after yourself properly, Daniel, if you're going to be doing all
Yeah,
this?
I only drink water out of glass bottles. That's spring water. I'm extreme when it comes to that. Like
Good.
really extreme.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay.
so what do I do? I
You're
just wait
you
here.
just wait. Yes, wait. Yeah. And just have questions for them.
Okay.
Greetings. Well, the Arcturian Council. Well, pleased to with you. Hello. It is wonderful to be here with you and to have this opportunity to chat. How may we be of service to you?
I'm not really sure.
You like the idea of contact with extraterrestrial consciousness?
I think I do.
Very good. Are you a bit hesitant because we're not all friendly?
No, that doesn't bother me.
All we can do is give you another aspect of source to resonate with. All we can do is offer you our energy and our perspective.
Okay. So do
When you resonate with it, it feels right. And when you don't, you look somewhere else, perhaps Pleiadians or Syrians or Andromedans. But it's perfectly fine to have your preferences for which type of energy you connect with.
okay. Interesting.
Is there something in your life that you are working on at this time?
Yes. And do you mean an individual thing or do you mean like,
Both.
so yes, I do my work and I would, from your perspective, be interested to know if my work has value, I guess. Can you see what I do?
It's helpful if you talk about it to bring it more to the surface.
I'm trying to help people to understand the human experience and the requirement for the human experience to embody being human whilst being a spiritual being at the same time, and the kind of symbiosis between body, spirit, and mind, and the necessary alignment that is required for making the most of the human experience whilst trying to keep people grounded.
Yes.
So,
And like most New Agers, you wonder whether you're doing enough or whether you're doing it right.
yes, like, is this going to, well, I guess it doesn't matter if I affect one person or many people, but it would
Correct.
be good to know if I am going to affect many people or if I should just focus on raising my children.
Well, affecting many people doesn't mean that you necessarily have less time for your children.
No, I know that. But I guess I'm interested to know what you think can you see my soul purpose?
Yes,
And what is it?
you're doing it.
Which is what?
The work that you do while at the same time being a mom, being a person who's having experiences, who's giving source an opportunity to see through that particular lens what that life is like, what those experiences are like. You're also doing a lot of creating as you move through time and space, as you have different experiences that get you to focus in different ways and get you to desire different outcomes in your life and in the lives of others. And so that in and of itself is enough of a purpose. It's not that you're meant to be the one person who causes peace in the Middle East or unites all religions or does anything on that grand scale that people sometimes want to have as a purpose, but it's you being you that is essentially your purpose. And you clearly are doing that. And there's no reason for you to question any of it.
Yes, don't worry. I didn't want to be the person bringing peace to the Middle East. I don't want the
Very,
responsibility.
very
But
good.
yes, oh, I was going to ask you something else then.
There will always be more. There will always be evolution, expansion on this journey that you are on as the version of you that you are right now. There will be more that you reach up into and reach across to. And that's very good. That's creating less of a stagnation or the possibility of boredom in what you're doing. There will always be more that you get inspired to do, more collaborations, more offerings, more events. And because you are living your purpose, everything is going to unfold perfectly in those regards. And you don't have to worry about you having to push all the buttons and pull all the levers to make it happen.
That's it. And so it's kind of to know that everything, because I know that there is a trust that everything always works out the way it's supposed to. It's
Yes.
and as I get older, that truth is easier to live within. But I get pulled back by ego into 3D fear about the fact that I can't earn enough to be able to survive doing what I want to do, which is this work. So it's like maintaining that level of trust that everything is always going to be fine, that I'm doing what I need to do and I'm taken care of. That's what I need to kind of really just
That's what you're working on.
code in so
Yes.
that I can live more peacefully without the fear of thinking all the time, oh my God, I'm not earning money, da 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 da, this, I'm not going to be able to pay for these things. You know, why am I doing this? Why don't I go and just do an ordinary job? But I don't want to do an ordinary job because I get so much pleasure out of helping people.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, am I from this planet? Because I don't feel like I am. And I want to know, do I do astral projection every night? Because I've been told I do, whereas I don't know if I do.
Well, you do, and the reason why it's hard for you to recall where it is you've been, what it is you've been doing, is because you've been mixing it up with beings and collectives like us that your mind has a hard time even conceptualizing, even making a story about that you would call a dream for you to recall when you wake up in the morning. But yes, you're astral traveling every night. There's no point for your soul's consciousness to stay in that body as that body is resting.
Okay. And does everybody do that?
Everybody does. They just go different places. There's different levels. There's different themes that beings are working on. So they'll be exploring one aspect of the astral plane, and then others will be going higher and into other dimensions. Some like to stick around Earth and do their work on the Earth plane.
And would you be able to tell which plane I'm working on?
You're working in the seventh dimension.
Don't even
You're
know.
working a lot with your guides right now while you're asleep at night.
How many guides have I
Oh,
got?
well, you've got three main guides, but you've got 101 total.
And where are they from?
You've met them, most of them in the non physical when you were non physical. Some
Mhm.
you would identify as having a star system association because that's where you met them. But they're like you in the sense of being universal beings, being source energy beings, and having, therefore, their toes dipped in a lot of different bodies of water all across the universe.
So I'm not one particular race. I'm universal. Is that what you're saying?
You are universal, but you're also originally from Sirius. And if you want to look at it in terms of wherever you physically first incarnated, that's where you're from, then it would be Sirius.
So if I look that up, I'll find out more about that planet.
Sirius is a binary system. Yes, there's Sirius A, Sirius B, and you can look up at the night sky and see the Sirius system. Yes.
And is that a place where there's just unconditional love all the time?
Beings are mostly interested in service there. There's a lot of water. It's where the whales and dolphins are from. So it's very service oriented.
Okay. And is that why I'm so attracted to the sea and water?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And should I stay living where I'm living?
Is there somewhere else you want to be?
Well, it took it took us to look at 7 houses before we got this house. So it felt like it wanted me here to do some work on the land. Um, but I'd rather live by the water, but I don't think that's possible right now. So I just wanted to know, like, am I right? Did the land call me here because it needs some
Yes.
healing?
Yes.
And am I supposed to get more into land healing?
It serves you to do so.
Okay. And okay, so I'm in the right place. I guess of course I'm in the right
For
place
now.
for
For
now.
now.
Will my children be all right?
Could you broaden your definition of all right?
Okay, will my children be successful in their lives? I don't mean successful against the measures of today's society, but will they? It's very difficult to be a parent. I really struggle with it. So I just want to know that I'm
Have
going
they given you any cause for concern?
to, well, yeah, in their own ways, they have for sure. So, you know, it's not an area that comes naturally to me. So I just want to make sure I'm not fucking them up.
You're not.
Okay.
They chose you, and they're going to have the experiences that they set out to have for this lifetime. Now, will all of them be uh, pleasant
No.
and peaceful? Of course not. Yes, because they have their own paths for growing and evolving, and it involves sometimes doing their own fucking up.
Yes. And they will do that, I'm sure. But I just
Yes.
wanted to
And
know,
it's going to be your job to be there, be the stable force, be the mother who offers caring, nurturing, unconditional love, to be someone that they can always turn to. And also, it's your job not to worry.
yes. which I try to get into that state about it and try not to see them as individuals, but it can be quite difficult because I don't like all this technology. In fact, there's a very good question for you. The biggest thing we struggle with our children is this constant request to be, constant desire to be on screens. And the world is going that way. So do I just let it,
Mm-hmm.
or do I try and stop it? Because it causes an awful lot of arguments.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do know a few things, having been there for decades longer than they have. So it's all right for you to teach them things like don't run into the street when something goes into the street that you want, or when you see someone across the street, you don't just run across the street. So you do have some knowledge to share with them about balance. And it's not about never having it for them. You can point that out to them. It's not that we don't ever want you to look at a screen, but you need balance in your life between having that and being without it in order to appreciate the world that you are living in the present moment. And we think that what humanity struggle with right now as a whole is about balancing yourselves with Mother Nature and Mother Earth. And if people are allowed to go too far into the technology realm and rely too much on it, then it will be problematic for all of humanity. So, for you to be able to do that for them, to be the one who helps them establish a balance and explains to them that it's important for their development of their brains and the development of their imagination to not always be in front of a screen, that it's important for them to have social skills where they are able to look someone in the eye and talk to them instead of just texting them. And you help them realize that this is something that you want for them, not that you want to take from them. It will help. It will help to point out the positives for them of not being on a screen all the time without only harping on the negative aspect of what will happen if all they are ever doing is looking at a phone or a tablet or a computer.
Okay, so focus on the positive.
Yes.
Okay.
But also take it easy on yourself, because we know it's hard to have to say no to a child that you love and you really want to give everything that they want. Be easy on yourself about having to be the one who doles out the rules.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, that's what causes the arguments, is the fact that I know this is wrong, like to do it all the time. As you write,
Mm-hmm.
it's about the balance. I know this. This is what I do. This is what I'm saying to people. And yet my
Mm-hmm.
own children are just like doing what they want. And it's quite difficult. Trying to get them to get off the screens. Okay. So is there anything else that you think I should know?
You're doing great. You're always going to benefit from reassuring yourself of that. For you do need sometimes to pat yourself on the back and remind yourself of how far you've come. And we won't always be there to do it to you, to whisper it into your ear. And your guides aren't doing that either, because your guides really do want you to get more of the subtle cues and hints and signs that they're placing in your path so that you pay attention more. That's why they don't just beat you over the head with things, and make sure that you hear every thought that they have about your journey. But as you can trust more in the fact that you do have support, that you do have a whole group of guides that are working with you on a variety of things, then it will be easier for you to move forward in your life confidently and without fear and anxiety about what might happen in the future. You can use that powerful mind of yours to also think the what if in the positive way. What if this good thing happens? What if that good thing happens? Won't it be nice if? Won't it be nice when?
And will I ever be able to see spirit?
Yes.
Is that far off? Because I want to be able to see spirit because I know it's around and I want to be able to visualize it.
We feel that within 5 months you could be completely clairvoyant.
And clairvoyant means to you?
Seeing.
And is it anything I'm going to have to do for that?
Meditate on your third eye.
Everybody has that ability, don't they? That's what I say to people.
Everybody has that ability. Some people don't want it, and most people don't know it. So when you want it and you know it, and you put forth the practice of meditation with intention to achieve it, then you will.
And so I just focus the meditation saying, I can see. I can see the
And
difference.
as you put your attention right there and breathe up into it, as though the air is going straight up into the third eye center.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
You're doing great.
I feel like I could talk to you all night now. Slow to start, doesn't want to stop. Okay. So, and I should just carry on giving guided meditations to people
Of course.
because it feels
To
like
carry on with everything and expect it to expand, and expect more people to wake up and more people to want your services, because they are, and that can't be stopped.
I don't want it to be stopped. Well, that's what I feel is supposed to happen anyway. The fact
Yes.
that I've just been gearing up for people to be available to people when they need me.
Yes. Good. Well, you've done your work. You've laid the groundwork for that beautifully.
Yeah, I worry though because I didn't do it as traditional way, and I've done all the
What's the traditional way?
well, in the old way, where you study for years and then you get a qualification that's like from a certified body. I've got certified qualifications, but they all came from self-teaching from a wonderful place called the Center of Excellence. And they're all legitimate licensed programs, but I did them in my own time at 1,000 miles an hour. And so sometimes I feel because I have a university degree, but not in this subject, that I'm
Right.
not as legitimate as others. But then I think, well, fuck it, I don't need that. This is the new world order. But then I get 3D about it again.
Well, that's an interesting thing to be concerned about. And do other people seem to care?
I don't think people even know to ask
People don't know, right?
because this is so uncharted, because this stuff has been forgotten for so many thousands of years in this bloody
Yes.
world that actually it's like bringing all this stuff through again. It was once known. That's what my feeling very strongly is. It was once known.
Yes.
Is the fact that, it's like, and that's why I didn't want to join professional bodies, because I was like, you don't even cover spiritual counseling. You don't cover the things I do because it's so new again,
Yes.
but old. So that's right, isn't it?
You are right, yes. And you don't have to worry about what anyone else will think anyway, because when someone's in your presence and they feel your presence and they feel your vibration, they're not then going to ask for your qualifications.
Okay, good.
They're going to want to work with you based on your vibration. They're going to want to work with you based on what they can see and feel that you can do.
For them.
Yes.
I always attract people that have things in common with me.
Yes.
Mm. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot. I'm glad I
Indeed.
recorded this.
Yeah.
Um, what happens now? Thank you, by the way. Thank you
When
very
you go to sleep, you can expect even more helpers on the other side.
What? I'm going to get more helpers after this.
Yes.
How many more am I getting? I've already got 100. That's wonderful. 101.
Yes. Well, when you go to the astral plane now, what we're saying is you now know what we feel like. You know how to visit us by our vibrational signature. And we expect to have many more conversations with you when you're not in your body.
So this was all meant to happen.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I knew this would be life-changing.
Mm.
Okay. Do I need to give you anything?
No.
Can I talk about this?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad.
Mm.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. We are the Arcturian Council and we have enjoyed connecting with
Much love.
you. Hello.
Hello, Daniel. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm so nice. It's so nice to help someone who's a helper, who's
Yeah.
then helping other people. And yeah, like you said to them, you help one person, that's enough, because
Sometimes.
there's a ripple effect. There's all the people that then they'll help. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about.